Hello, thanks for joining us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguela. Niger's military leader has vowed to prosecute President Mohamed Bazoum for alleged treason and criticized West African leaders for imposing sanctions against the country. Adebola Brookslin will give us details now.
The spokesperson to the junta, Amado Abdurrahmani, says the military leaders will prosecute Bazoum for undermining the internal and external security of Niger. The West African bloc ECOWAS last week approved the deployment of a standby force to restore constitutional order in Niger as soon as possible, but claimed that it remains committed to finding a diplomatic solution to the crisis.
Tout état de cause. Le gouvernement nigérien a réuni.
The government of Niger has to date gathered the necessary evidence to prosecute before the national and international authorities the ousted president, his local and international accomplices before undermining local and international security of Niger.
Meanwhile, Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights has urged those who detained President Mohamed Bazoum to respect and protect the human rights of those detained. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk said UN felt concerned after learning about the poor living conditions of those detained in Niger, including the president and his family.
Je suis extrêmement préoccupé.
I am concerned about the rapidly deteriorating conditions in which President Mohamed Bazoum, his wife and his son have been arbitrarily detained in violation of international human rights law. I have received reports that electricity has been cut and they have no access to clean drinking water amid hot temperatures in Niger.
The coup, the third of its kind in the West African country in 3 years, has drawn condemnation from many African countries and others outside the continent, which view the unconstitutional change of power as a threat to stability and development on the continent. Adebola Brookslin, NTA News.
In another development, traders and merchants in West Africa have decried the impact of sanctions on Niger and how it is affecting movement of goods and services in the Sahel region. Owing to this, Nigeria is said to be losing more than 10 billion naira weekly due to the sanctions. Details now with Musa Aliyu.
It has been estimated that Nigeria is losing about 13 billion naira worth of business and trade as a result of sanctions imposed on Niger Republic. 7 states of Katsina, Kebbi, Zamfara, Sokoto, Jigawa, Yobe and Borno share border and are involved in daily trade and business with Niger worth billions of naira. Chairman Arewa Economic Forum Ibrahim Yahaya Dakata in a press conference says trade between Niger and Nigeria is mostly informal, especially in perishable goods, food items and livestock worth 177 billion naira.
As at last year, I think the formal trade recorded between Nigeria and Niger is about 171 billion. But one thing, just like Nigeria, Niger has a large part of its trade informal, not formalized, so it's not captured. And that estimate of the informal trade is more than 515 billion naira. And this informal trade is mostly in perishable commodities. I'm talking about agricultural commodities, onions, livestock.
All these businesses have been suspended as the border closed and movement of goods and services restricted. The Arewa Economic Forum therefore says the economic consequences of the closure is becoming unbearable for traders, with negative impacts on the social well-being of the people. The forum says since the closure of the border, about 2,000 containers laden with perishable and non-perishable goods have been trapped and cannot be cleared due to the closure.
I'm feeling for the federal government and the national security advisor to intervene for the other alternative that we're looking for the solution. Things are going worse for us now, more especially with the people of the entirely north. We're talking about north in general. We don't have any access to cross our consignment for now, unless we now carry our consignment down to Semi, which is not proper for us. For us to carry that consignment to Semi, it going to cause us a damage because our container has come on transit.
To this end, the Arewa Economic Forum is appealing to the federal government to consider the reopening of Ilo border, which shares boundary with Benin Republic through Kebbi State. Musa Aliyu, NTA News.
The armed forces are upscaling joint security operations to stem criminality across the country. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that this is the focus of exercise Stranix, a joint course for military services war college holding at the National Defense College in Abuja.
The Nigerian armed forces are combating diverse internal security challenges in different parts of the country. These threats said to have been amplified by the nation's porous borders and proliferation of small and light weapons are sometimes complex and require a multifaceted approach to tackle.
This brought about the harmonization.
This course, which Services War College is tagged Exercise Stranix, is aimed at enhancing joint security operations in view of the dynamic and complex security environment.
Combating the challenges posed by contemporary security threats require realistic and effective joint operations. Exercise Stranix is designed to practice and develop participants' understanding and skills in the art of strategic decision-making during crisis management, using the elements of national power.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, charged security agencies to be proactive in the ongoing efforts to secure Nigeria's territorial integrity.
Jointness is the way out. We need to train together, to work together so that we can get results together. No single service or single parastatal can achieve success without the others. So what we are doing now is to bring our participants so that they come together with participants of National Defense College to work together to develop systems that will work for us in case of crisis.
The joint exercise is to, among other things, promote synergy among the land, sea and air components of the Nigerian Armed Forces, particularly during internal military security operations. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
5 students of the Federal Muni University, Gusau, Zamfara State, kidnapped by terrorists about 2 weeks ago, have regained freedom. Dean Student Affairs of the university, Dr. Lawal Saad, who confirmed this to NTA News, said the kidnapped victims were handed over to the management of the institution by the military. He said the released students who underwent some medical treatments have since been reunited with their families. We head to Lagos now to join Michael. He'll pick up from that end. Michael?
Thank you, Ruth. The outcome of the 2023 elections in Nigeria have continued to raise concern with regards to the participation and representation of women in politics. Correspondent takes a look at some of the challenges confronting women in their quest to achieve political inclusion in decision-making, particularly in a male-dominated political space.
While women are making significant contributions to Nigerian politics, especially on election days, their representation in political and decision-making positions, political analysts observed, needs to be improved.
In this part of the world, there is no political will to increase representation or participation of women. No political will. I remember a series of bills tabled before our National Assembly which did not fly. At the end of the day, those bills were thrown out.
Underrepresentation of women can be attributed to factors such as cultural stereotypes, religion, and the patriarchal social structure of the country.
Basically because our people have the psyche that a woman cannot be their leader. A woman is not a leader, she is perpetually a follower. And so any woman who tries or who attempts to be a leader is squashed one way or the other.
Meanwhile, statistics indicate that the number of women elected to the National Assembly in 2023 is the lowest since 2003, when 24 women were elected. This is why political analysts are advocating deliberate policies that are geared towards galvanizing women's participation in politics.
We need to welcome each other. We need to not see each other as competition. We need to support each other, and we need to provide information.
We have many women who are clamoring for gender equity. We have many NGOs who are rising to the cries of women, and then encouraging more women to join the political sector.
Gender advocates and political analysts are of the opinion that the exclusion of women from political leadership roles denies them the opportunity to contribute to policy and decision-making processes that shape Nigeria's future. In Lagos, Lane Lenake, NTA News.
Fear of plying flyover bridges among Lagos residents soon in the ongoing construction of truck barriers. Hingino John Adams reports that work on one lane of Ojuelegba Bridge is near completion, while installations on Domalong and Stadium bridges will soon commence.
Many lives have been lost and limbs cut off on this bridge from accidents mostly caused by articulated trucks. Abiodun Adewumi is a regular commuter on Ojuelegba Bridge. Stepping out for her daily activities which require plying the bridge comes with apprehension. But with the installation of this truck barrier, the story will surely be different.
When me and my children, when we are coming from shop, we want to drop from here. My children will be telling me, Mommy, don't stay here. We don't like it because all this trailer container, they follow. I'm so happy as they have done it now.
Just like her, other road users are excited about the development.
To make me to feel free to pass this place, because I even told my husband, I said, when he said I should drop at Ojuelegba, because I'm going somewhere, he said I should drop at Ojuelegba. I say, I fear this container so that it will not fall on me.
This project going on, I think, is a good idea.
Lagos State government says the decision is to protect lives and infrastructure.
If we have condemned the trucks or we have made them go, under the bridges and not over the bridges, they should have seamless movement, and that we have done in the sense that we have managed the transport unions responsible that their members should not be passengers on the road, thereby obstructing traffic. We have also expedited action with our agency, Blasma. We posted officers there to work 24 hours to ensure that violations are not committed so that the trucks can have access.
Now, Abiodun and other road users can go about their activities without fear. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages, and when we return, Nationwide continues from our...
Welcome back. I'm afraid we'll be joining Salamatu in Kaduna when we're able to connect with her. But let's pick up from here. The tax reforms initiated by President Bola Tinubu has continued to generate excitement that more resources will be generated and used for development. Guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria are urging the Presidential Committee on Tax Reforms to carefully find holistic solutions to the challenges that have militated against effective tax administration in the country. Lydia Sampson reports.
The determination of President Bola Tinubu to transform the economy through robust tax management has been described as a game changer. Guest on Good Morning Nigeria acknowledged that though some progress has been made in recent times, continuous evaluation and expanding the tax net can be achieved through reforms and multi-stakeholder engagement.
The reform is to solve two problems. One is to solve the problem of multiple taxation, and the other one is to take up our tax to GDP ratio to where it's supposed to be. I think that is the reason why the president has to bring the reform.
Let's look at the economy, let's look at the revenue and be able to bring it up, generate more than what we have been generating, such that if we have to go a borrowing at all, it is going to be very minimal at the very least.
With revenue generation below 50%, they opine that both tax administrators, taxpayers and government must be on the same page of patriotism, accountability and efficient use of tax resources.
What we should do, the FRS has started, is to catch them young. Let our young ones be up and doing in trying to comply.
If we look at taxpayers, some taxpayers or a group of taxpayers are not paying enough. What we need to do is to try to diagnose how they are able to go about it, and see areas where there is too much latitude to maneuver.
The need for harmonizing taxes to ease the multiplicity, according to them, will go a long way in changing the narrative of tax evasion and improve compliance. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
The Nigerian Navy Military School, Ikot Ntuen in Akwa Ibom State, is to be provided with the enabling environment for learning, one-year work fees for all graduating students, and building of staff quarters, among others. Governor Umo Eno said this at a maiden graduation ceremony of the school in Akwa Ibom State. Kelvin Samuel reports.
With an initial admission of 55 young sailors on commission, the Nigerian Navy Military School, Ikot Ntuen, commenced training of young Nigerians drawn from the 36 states and federal capital territory in 2018. 6 years after the young sailors having successfully completed their secondary education are set for graduation. Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Umo Eno, says he has no doubt that the school will produce professionals who will make the Nigerian military proud in the future, assuring of the government's continuous support to enable the institution achieve its goals.
Let me congratulate you and wish you the very best in the near future, both in your academics and in your military pursuits. I have no doubt that you will be great ambassadors of this school, the state, and the nation. And wherever the journey of life takes you, please don't forget that you cut your teeth in Akwa Ibom. And always remember, Akwa Ibom as you tag along.
The event featured awards for outstanding students as well as parade and other military displays by the students. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA News.
All right, we join Salama to now from our Kaduna Network Center.
Ruth, and glad to have you join us here. Kano State Command of the Nigerian Immigration Service has apprehended a suspected human trafficker in company of 6 female illegal migrants on transit to Libya without proper travel documents. The command controller Ahmed Dauda Bagari stated this while parading the suspect in Kano. Our Salisu reports.
Suspected human trafficker alongside the illegal migrants were intercepted in virtual quarters in Kano metropolis while attempting to embark on the journey to Libya through Niger Republic without proper travel documents. One of the migrants, Aisha Ibrahim, said her elder brother residing in Libya offered her a job as housemaid with a salary of 200,000 naira monthly.
Now the say rise up, no gain, no anything. And now come my brother, he say I should come so that he will find work for me, so that I can go and do my freedom, so that myself I can stand on myself.
Controller Nigerian Immigration Service Kano State Command Ahmad Dauda Bagari said after conducting a preliminary investigations, the migrants will be reunited with their families, while the suspected trafficker who facilitated their journey will be held accountable for his actions.
Our officers continue to work tirelessly to secure our borders and protect our nation from any threats that may arise from such activities. Parents and the community at large should be on the lookout for people who come to lure their wards to embark on a wild goose chase, the so-called greener pasture.
Bagari further maintained that the Nigerian Immigration Service will remain resolute in its commitments to prevent illegal migration, human trafficking, and other related crimes. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
Final year cadets of the Nigerian Defense Academy have been urged to continue nurturing a professional military that is people-centric and capable of meeting its constitutional responsibilities in a joint collaborative environment. General Officer Commanding 3 Division of the Nigerian Army, Abdul Salam Abubakar, gave the charge during the battle inoculation exercise for cadets 70 regular course and direct short service of Army and Air Force held in Kaduna. Let's hear more from Dauda Muhammad.
The battle inoculation exercise phase of Camp Highland is the final outdoor training exercise for cadets of regular course and direct short service course of Army and the Air Force. The exercise is designed to test command leadership qualities and endurance capabilities under battle setting, featuring firepower demonstration with artillery guns, armored tanks and air platforms during assault on a designated target. For the General Officer commanding 3 Division Nigerian Army, Major General Abdusalam Abubakar, the quality of the battle inoculation exercise is a reminder of his days as a cadet in the academy.
As we are all aware, our nation is currently faced with numerous contemporary security challenges ranging from insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, militancy, and violent agitations, amongst others. The Nigerian Armed Forces, in collaboration with other sister agencies, has the constitutional mandate to combat these threats to national security. You, the passing out cadets, must therefore fall in line with the leadership concept of the Chief of Defense Staff.
The cadets consist of both male and female under training to be commissioned as officers. Camp Highland is the final outdoor military exercise for the cadets before they become officers. The 70th regular course of the Nigerian Defense Academy, the 27th direct short service of the Army, and 31 for the Air Force. This is the climax of their military exercise. From the Kachia shooting range, I am Dauda Muhammad, NTA News.
That is it on our package from here. Let's rejoin Ruth again for more reports on Nationwide.
Thank you, Salamatu. Disaster response has gone beyond just response. That is arriving at the scene of the incident and trying to arrest the situation as much as the relevant emergency agencies could. It must be timely and efficient. And that is to say that disaster response has now moved to management, means putting proactive mechanisms in place. Now, to achieve this, facilities must be in place to monitor and swing into action immediately when disaster occurs. Larry Belay reports on enhancing the capacity for disaster management.
The impact of disaster on lives and property has always been devastating, with attendant effects leaving scarring marks. Since life is sacred, most disaster response agencies have engaged in different strategies to curb the impact within their domain.
For this period, especially this season we are, it's increasing due to the season we have now. You know, it's rainy season, and earthwise too, the weather is not really friendly.
I think the time factor also determines, probably it's in the midnight also, I never can tell, but I think the time factor determines the rate at which they respond quickly or not.
In Lagos, the tide is changing with attention now shifted to the management of intrinsic factors influencing disasters.
I think they should just hasten up when being alerted.
It has become imperative for state government to set up facilities that will improve disaster response to be effective and efficient, while mapping out strategies to make sure that relevant sister agencies in the state, such as the fire service, key into the measure. In Lagos, Adeola Komiakiri, NTA News.
We apologize for the mix-up there. The background report to our next item was actually by Adeola. But let's join Larry now, live this time around at the Lagos State Emergency Response Office. He wants to talk to us on this state of emergency, that is what has been in place to achieve disaster management in the state. Larry, you have a situation report, so please go ahead.
Yeah, Ruth, from that, where you stop, from that report presented by Adeola Komiakiri, I'll start from there. Disaster management and disaster response are two different things. They are not the same thing, according to Disaster Management Agency in Lagos State. Disaster management, they say, requires preparedness, recovery, and mitigation. And disaster response is just what it is, disaster response. So now they are going the route of disaster management. And in disaster management, you prepare early warning mechanisms, you anticipate disaster before they happen, and you don't just sit down and wait till the disaster happens. You go in there and do what you have to do. So I want to compare then and now. I have with me here a Lagos resident, Madam Tosin. Please come near me. Who is going to tell us how is it? How is disaster response then and now that Lagos State has adopted disaster management? Madam Tosin, how is it?
Now it's the best.
Don't worry, it is my job.
Now it is the best. Before it take time. Now within 10 to 15 minutes, the response allow you at the scene already and take the action perfectly.
Before, how is it?
It's almost 20-25 minutes, but now within 10 to 15 minutes, the job is done. The LRU teams are on ground.
Thank you very much, Tosin. And so, apart from disaster management, there's recovery, disaster response in the area. It often happens that when disaster happens, the people living that area are the first response to disaster. And what is Lagos State putting in place for these people to have at least basic skills in responding to disaster in that area? One could recall recently the plane that crashed in Oba Akran Avenue and how people in that area rushed to the plane crash and tried to quench the fire. So what is Lagos State doing to the people who are around that terrain to, respond before the cavalry comes in, that is before the agency comes in within the 10 minutes frame they have? I have with me here Mr. Olufemi Oke. Tolu, please come near me. He is the head of Lagos State Emergency Management Agency. Now, you heard what I just said.
Yeah.
What training are you giving to people living in that terrain, in that area, that often respond to disaster when it occurs? Are there any training on ground?
Well, we've changed our paradigm from response system to holistic management, and we realize that the impact of all this is to the grassroots.
Okay, we seem to have lost signal there, but Larry Igbeleyin was just trying to tell us how
effective and efficient, because we build the capacity.
I can hear their voices, so I think they're back. Let's connect back.
Have local emergency management committee place. We have training for them on basic life support, on basic search and rescue. You can see what happened at the Obakra when the incident there. The people, instead of running or panicking, they quickly moved there swiftly, promptly, and we joined them in the response.
So this is the way disaster is going. And
definitely, that's the way it will be in Lagos. Right. We are not going to emphasize on response. We are going to emphasize on disaster risk reduction. We are going to ensure preparedness in full gear. We are going to ensure that our response is swift, prompt, and effective.
Mr. Olufemi,
and we have emergency number.
We can talk like this.
And we have the emergency number in Lagos State.
You can see Mr. Femi has a lot to say on disaster management in Lagos State. Ruth, it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Larry. Of course, he has so much to say, and when it comes to disaster management, preparedness, response and mitigation is very, very important. Thank you, Larry, for that update there. All right, our correspondent Larry Belenyi there. Let's turn to road matters. The Court-Martial Federal Road Safety Corps, Dauda Ali Biu, has advised motorists traveling through Abuja-Yola Road and those traveling from northeastern part of the country to the north central to apply alternative routes for their safety. This advisory became necessary due to heavy rainfall that happened yesterday, which lasted for many hours. There are reports of a failed culvert at Kalajaga village along the 118 kilometers Bauchi-Gombe road, whereby the heavy rainfall washed away the culvert between Bauchi to Gombe, requiring the need for an alternative route. Therefore, motorists from Abuja heading to Yola should go through Abuja, Jos, Bauchi, Darazo, Duku, Gombe, Yola, while motorists from Yola to Abuja should ply Yola, Gombe, Duku, Darazo, Bauchi, Jos to Abuja. The Nigerian Customs Service Ogun Area 1 Command has intercepted and confiscated 1,245 rounds of live ammunition concealed in bags of foreign rice. The controller, Ogun Area 1 Command of Customs, Bamidele Makinde, while briefing journalists on the seizure, said that the live cartridges were seized at a border town between Nigeria and Benin Republic. Hakim Jimo reports.
Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, during his recent visit to Ogun State to collaborate with security agencies in neighboring countries to minimize trans-border crime and criminality, men and officers of the Ogun Area 1 Command of the service intensified patrol around the border communities. The move is now paying off with the interception of 1,245 live cartridges concealed in 250 kilograms bags of foreign rice valued at 17,638,145 naira.
About 1,245 rounds of 70mm 2¾ ammunition of Lion Trust, Supreme and Red Star branded cartridges were found to have been ingeniously concealed in 20 bags of the intercepted foreign rice. While considering the potential danger of the ammunition of such magnitude, if successfully smuggled in, we redouble our efforts to ensure they do not find their way into the country. It is a threat to the safety of the border communities and national security.
Customs boss, who noted that the drivers of the 5 vehicles used to convey the contraband and prohibited goods are on the run, said that investigations are ongoing to unravel the suspects behind the crime. He attributed the feat to interagency synergy and intelligence sharing among the various security agencies around the Idiroko border area.
Akot will be our next stop. Gabriel will guide us from there.
To Port Harcourt. The River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has assured the people of the state of delivery of quality projects. Osinachi Abraham reports that Governor Fubara gave the assurance while inspecting the ongoing reconstruction of Omoko Egbema Road project in Ogba Egbemandoni local government area of River State.
Governor Fubara said his administration decided to embark on the road project initiated by the previous administration because of its strategic economic importance to the people, noting that it will enhance the living standards of the people when completed. The governor, who attested to the competence of the construction company handling the project, cautioned against any act of sabotage and urged the Commissioner of Works to liaise with the company and the community to resolve the differences to enable the project to commence in earnest.
Sotraco has been awarded that job. We are not going out of that particular agreement. That will be completely out of place. I understand your sentiment, but as it stands now, you just have to give them that benefit of doubt.
He said the sum of 5.2 billion naira has been paid to the contractor out of the reviewed total contract sum of 7.2 billion. The Oba of Oba land, His Royal Majesty King Iwachuku Obuaha Obi Eze Oba III, who led the delegation, said the agitations was as a result of lack of proper communication and engagement between the company and the community.
But be sure these people you are seeing love you. If they did not, they won't vote for you. You couldn't buy them.
A chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, Felix Obua, and other stakeholders pledged the continuous support of Onelga people to Governor Fubara's administration for a prosperous river state. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Abraham, NTA News.
The shift towards gas-powered vehicles is receiving attention from Nigerians in Port Harcourt, who acknowledge that the initiative will help reduce cost of powering vehicles and increase value for money. Ijema Ogweke got views of experts on the best way towards achieving the switch.
Launched in December 2020, Nigeria's auto gas policy seeks to reduce heavy reliance on petrol and promote the use of gas as a cleaner and cheaper energy source for vehicles. With the expressed determination of the administration of President Bola Tinubu to cut subsidy, which has more than doubled the cost of petrol, auto gas now appears more attractive. While acknowledging that the initiative is a welcome development, experts say safety of gas on vehicles and inadequate manpower to achieve the noble venture pose a major challenge. Dr. Meko Kafo is an energy expert with the University of Port Harcourt. He emphasizes that Nigeria needs to train and build capacity of its manpower for smooth implementation of the policy of converting natural gas to power vehicles.
You have the issue of safety, because if you don't have good, well-trained Nigerians, even if we decide to engineer and establish a gas or liquid fuel production plant for natural gas, you might still have a problem of maintaining it, and that can cause a lot of accidents.
Other stakeholders call for the application of more safety measures while developing storage systems to eliminate chances of explosion.
What I want to be sure of is the safety aspect of it, how safe it is to use in the house or to use with your generator. So if I'm sure of that, then it's a go-go for me.
Talk of petrol in a car is very okay, but gas, I don't think that even ordinary son can be able to afford the gas, to my own knowledge.
The policy promises to provide alternative to fuel usage. Emphasis, many say, should be placed on empowerment of the energy sector and the entire chain of gas conversion industry. In Port Harcourt, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
And that's the size of a package from Port Harcourt. Nationwide, we continue with Ladidi in
Maiduguri to join Ladidi. When we're able to, we may join her. But let's pick up from here. Desert encroachment and flood are the two environmental concerns of Jigawa State over the years. However, inculcating positive attitudes among residents towards the environment is what many see as the most viable solution to tackling these challenges. In line with this, the Jigawa State government marks this year's World Youth Day with a call on the youth in the state to take the lead in environment-friendly activities and awareness campaign. Mohammed Musa Askira reports.
Our state has been celebrating World Youth Day for the past 23 years, but this year's celebration took a different dimension, with youth taking the center stage, bringing their talents to promote environmental sustainability and eco-friendly practice and actions.
This program is organized at the instance of the Ministry of Information, Sport and Culture.
We feel there is need for us to have a wide awareness campaign where we can be able to instill in our youth to take charge of their environment, for them to be able to do environmental plenary activities that will give us the opportunity to conserve and sustain our environment.
Environmental well-being and sustainable development is the goal, and green skills are said to be the solution, as discussed in slides by experts on climate change. At the center of the climate change and its consequences are the need for building resilience, mitigating its impacts and adapting to the new reality.
The way we actually compromise our environment is taking us to a detrimental state. I think it's an eye-opener. A lot of environmental issues, a lot of issues that has to do with the climate change are bringing to the banner, and a lot of ideas where solutions were being provided.
We all know we are facing so many issues of pollution, most especially plastic is one of the major pollution that affects us. It's caused so many effects to our environment.
These youths drawn from various tertiary institutions across Jigawa State are required to champion the cause of addressing the effect of climate change through local approach and simple technology. The resolve to take climate change actions by these youths is justified by tree planting at the Jigawa Polytechnic and Kamnaya village, which was sacked by flood disaster last year. The idea is to create a buffer against desertification and erosion, a phenomenon that triggered the flood disaster in the state. From Dute, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Very good initiative, and we'll join our correspondent Musa Askira again. But this time around live, he's going to tell us about the youth and the youth initiative that was introduced and the need for them to imbibe in positive attitudes. Mohammed, please just go ahead. Okay, Mohammed seemed not to be hearing us, but let's continue with other issues. President Bola Tinubu has extended his birthday greetings to a former executive governor of Rivers State, Dr. Peter Odili, as he marks his 75th birthday. In a statement through the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelali, the president joins the celebrant's family, friends and well-wishers in celebrating a life defined by remarkable accomplishments and an unwavering focus on human capacity development and political mentorship. The president prays for renewed strength and good health upon the celebrant, enabling him to continue serving humanity with fervor in the years ahead. You made us proud, and even the world took notice. That is how Niger's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, saluted members of the Super Falcons when she received them at the Villa. They just got back from the 2023 Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo will tell us more about it.
It was in this room that the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, joined by wife of the Vice President, Nana Kashim Shettima, and Senate President's wife, Ekaite Akpabio, rooted for the Super Falcons, savoring moments of joy and enduring what one may call moments of mental suffering with their darling Super Falcons as they put up a good fight against the Lionesses of England. Now, in keeping with her promise to personally welcome the team, the First Lady received members of the Super Falcons, led by the President of the Nigerian Football Federation and their captain, to the State House. The pain of their early defeat at the round of 16 was a long-forgotten memory at the reception, as the mother of the nation, joined by other soccer moms, appreciated the team for displaying true Nigerian spirit at the Soccer Mundial.
You have not only represented Nigeria on the global stage, but have also become role models for our youth, especially young girls who now see their aspirations mirrored in you. I salute you today and welcome you back home, and our goodwill and best wishes go to other players who have gone back to their base. You gave your all and we stand with you and are so proud of you.
For her, victory is not only determined by the score sheet on the field of play, but more by the character and spirit on display.
Although the final results did not go your way, our way, the dedication and resilience you displayed on the pitch has filled even Mr. President, me and other Nigerians with immense respect and admiration.
Thanking the First Lady for her support and for honoring the team, NFF President Ibrahim Gusso said the Federation will focus on sports development and continue to present good teams for FIFA tournaments.
Personally, I saw a video of Your Excellency supporting the Falcons with so much passion during their win over Australia, as you watch on television. I want to assure you here that the players and officials will be paid all their entitlement as soon as we receive the World Cup money from FIFA.
You know, it feels like we are appreciated. Everybody appreciates what we do. And I want to say a very big thank you to her. Even before we went for the competition, you know, she gave us a very great, you know, a farewell.
For her support, the First Lady and other soccer moms were presented with Super Falcons jerseys by the NFF. In the State House, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
All right, let's rejoin our correspondent again, Mohammed Askira from Duse. He wants to tell us about the youth initiative for them to imbibe in positive attitudes, and environment-friendly activities, of course, is one of it. So, Mohammed, I want to believe you're hearing me clearly this time around, so please go ahead. Okay, we can seem to get Mohammed there, but that's nationwide, and we want to thank you very much for your company. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm Ruth Agwele. Bye.